So we haven't talked much about the next coach. We haven't talked at all about the next coach. Throw a couple names out there, guys that you think would be in the mix.
Jerry Stackhouse, my guy.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
all for Stack.
that's a good one.
I think they'll talk to Adrian Griffin and Earl Watson on the staff. I don't think either of them will get the job because I think they need to change. Dave Yeager, who's the coach in Indiana, is going to be, I think, talked about a little bit. But I would probably call Stack and say, hey, you want to chat? Let's see what's going on.
Mind you, he had a great recruiting year at Vanderbilt.
And won in Vanderbilt. Won the NIT, which isn't a big deal, but he still won it. He won at the 905s. He knows the organization. He knows a lot of these players. So I think you certainly. I know Detroit's going to call him. I'm pretty sure Toronto should too.
Do you think he'll be amenable to the possibility?
I think there are 30 NBA head coaches jobs on earth, and he could get one. He's amenable to it.
Yeah.
Udoka?
Udoka will be certainly. They will talk to Udoka, and I think Houston will. And Houston has. Detroit probably will. You don't know what's going to happen in cities like Charlotte, Minnesota, Dallas. You don't know. There might be other openings coming up there. But yeah, Udoka's going to be on there. They interviewed him when they hired Nick. So maybe they want to take a look at him again. Now that he's had a year as an NBA head coach under his belt.
So if you're Masai, what are you looking for in your new head coach? Like there's got to be something that you're thinking, all right, this is what we want. This is what we had. We didn't, at the end, we didn't get as much of that as we wanted. This is what we want in our new guy.
A little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of more traditional style of play. More okay. I'm gonna.
Nick used all this stuff out of necessity more than anything else, didn't he?
At the end, he did. Yeah, absolutely. At the end, yes. But the new guys, you got to say, if you're coming into an interview for the job, you say, Masai, look, you got a really good team. You got a lot of good pieces. I'm going to run a more traditional pick and roll offense. We're not going to junk it up as much defensively. We'll play a little bit more traditional, more in control. And I think you got good talent there. And we got to work with Malachi Flynn. We got to work with Delano Banton. We'll work hard to get them up to snuff. But I do think the thing that's going to tip the scale will be personality and enthusiasm and infectious enthusiasm. Someone has to get these guys having fun playing again. And I think that emotes from the head coach. And I think that will be the X's and O's are the X's and O's. I think Masai is going to look for a person who can energize the organization. And I don't know how that will manifest itself in an interview process, but I do think that's what he and Bobby are going to look for first.
Now, the Raptors don't have a first-round pick this year. Is that right?
No, they do. Yeah, we're going to pick probably around 14, 15.
Oh, okay.
They do not in 24.
Well, what are they looking for in that?
A young wing shooter they can develop.
Yeah.
6'6", 6'8" guy who can make a jump shot. They got who knows what's going to be available at that number. And they're going to be in the lottery, so they're going to be top 13 pick.
Yeah.
But they're going to look for a guy who was a capable college shooter who might be able to make a NBA three-pointer. And that'll be the first thing they look at. But again, to try to handicap the draft right now, if there is a stud 7-footer there, they'd probably take him, but I don't think there will be because it doesn't tend to be. I don't know that drafting at 13 or 12 or 14, you're going to get a guy who's going to play a lot next year, but I think you're going to draft on potential, and they need potential. They're still going to always need shooting. So I think that's what they'll look for primarily.
Is there an untradeable player on this roster?
Not in my opinion. There shouldn't be.
Okay. But you don't think Barnes will be traded, but primarily because you can't get anything of.
Yeah. And he's also got a lot of potential. Scotty Barnes could be a perennial all-star, but it's up to Scotty Barnes. And that's
I know you guys have said that. I've heard that from every NBA guy that I've talked to. I don't see that, pal.
And I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it mentally. You can see it physically. He's physically gifted. He's like a legit 6'8", 260. He's a big guy who passes well, runs well, and when he plays hard, can affect the game defensively. The problem with Scotty Barnes is between his ears. He's got to learn what it takes to be a professional. And I think he can, but he hasn't. He didn't in his first summer. He's got to in his second summer. Masai said that on Friday.
Yeah.
So he would be the untouchable guy for that combination of things. A low contract number doesn't get you a lot, and his potential is still off the charts. And he's only 21 and 2 years into his career.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got it in him to work as hard as he has to work in order to be a great player.
Well, he has the physical skills, right? He has the physical skills.
Absolutely.
We've seen that.
Physical skills are off the charts.
Yeah.
And they've said it. Pascal said it. Van Vliet said it. Trent said it. Nurse said it. He'll be as good as he wants to be. It's up to him. Well, okay, let's go. Show us. And the time is eventually going to run out, but there's still enough time to show. Like he could be. I think we sat here. We had Howard Beck on, I think, on this show one time, me and him, and we talked about Barnes, and he thought it was when they were going to. When I said they should put him in the trade for Durant last summer, which they should have, by the way,
right?
As it turns out, and Howard brought up maybe he's only Lamar Odom, which is Lamar Odom was a pretty good player, really good player on a team where he didn't have to be the greatest player.
Right.
If Scotty's only Lamar Odom, then I think they missed. Because he can affect the game more ways, I think, than Odom could.
Just to go back to the coaching, Masai 25 times better than we do. I think he's one of the most calculating, and I'm not saying that in a negative sense. I think he has a plan for everything. I think he understands the minutia better than anybody else. That's why he has progressed the way he has, and why they have given him all this power with this organization. All this power. I think as the moment he decided that Nick was gone, he's already got his guy. I really do. And we're gonna.
But isn't that the case with every coach that gets fired? Don't you think if you're a general manager, when you decide you're going to fire a coach, don't you have his replacement in mind?
Most do, yeah.
I think most have a list. I don't think they have a guy. I mean, John, you could be right. Masai might know. He might be talking to the guy today to sign the deal.
Yeah,
because he doesn't do things. Rash. He does not.
No, he doesn't.
He's not a rash, emotional decision maker.
He is a surgeon. This guy cuts to the chase. He's cutthroat. I mean, he's the type of president that every fan should want for their team. When he sees something that needs to be changed, he changes it.
Well, he traded for Kawhi Leonard in 48 hours.
Yeah. So I think he's already picked his guy, and I think we're doing a song and dance, waiting because the body's not cold yet.
Well, if we could do it Wednesday, I could get the rest of the week off. I'd be all for it.
And I think it's Udoka. I think he's selling Udoka, and whether Udoka's got to get to the board or whatever has to happen, I think it has to happen because they have a bit of baggage with Udoka that they have to deal with in the MLSE world.
Yeah, Udoka's gonna have to, if he's the guy, and I don't have any question that he might be. He's gonna have to sit in front of Larry Tannenbaum and explain